Hi, welcome to Surviving Motherhood. I've got a question for you about prayer. When you pray, do you think God is able to answer anything? Okay. Then sometimes when you pray, are you surprised that He did answer? I want to read a story for you out of the book of Acts about some people who were praying, asking God for a miracle. But then they didn't really believe it when He did it. This is about Peter. In Acts chapter 12, it says, "It was about this time that King Herod arrested some who belonged to the church, intending to persecute them. He had James, the brother of John, put to death with the sword. When he saw that this pleased the Jews, he proceeded to seize Peter also. This happened during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. After arresting him, he put him in prison, handing him over to be guarded by 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. Herod intended to bring him out for public trial after the Passover. So Peter was kept in prison, but the church was earnestly praying to God for him." I want you to remember that. Okay, Peter's in prison. John has just been killed, and the church is earnestly praying for Peter. So watch what happens, or listen. "The night before Herod was to bring him to trial, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers bound with 2 chains, and sentries stood guard at the entrance." So he's heavily guarded here. "Suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him up. 'Get up,' he said, and the chains fell off Peter's wrists. Then the angel said to him, 'Put on your clothes and sandals.' And Peter did so. 'Wrap your cloak around you and follow me,' the angel told him. Peter followed him out of the prison, but he had no idea what the angel was doing was really happening. He thought he was seeing a vision. I think I would too, don't you? They passed the 1st and 2nd guards and came to the iron gate leading to the city. It opened for them by itself, and then they went through it. When they had walked the length of one street, suddenly the angel left him. Then Peter came to himself and said, 'Now I know without a doubt that the Lord sent his angel and rescued me from Herod's clutches and from everything the Jewish people were anticipating.' When this had dawned on him, he went to the house of Mary, the mother of John, also called Mark, where many people had gathered and were praying." Okay, so they're gathering, they're praying, they're asking God to protect Peter and release him, right? Well, when Peter knocked at the outer entrance, and a servant girl named Rhoda came to answer the door. When she recognized Peter's voice, she was so overjoyed she ran back without opening it and exclaimed, "Peter's at the door!" "You're out of your mind," they told her. When she kept insisting that it was so, they said, "It must be his angel." Okay, so these people are praying for Peter, asking God to perform this miracle to release him from prison. He does so. The little servant girl goes and says, "Peter's at the door," and they're like, "No, he isn't." Okay, what do you think they were expecting God to do? But Peter kept on knocking, and when they opened the door and saw him, they were astonished. Okay, so did you get that? These people are gathered together. They're asking God to save Peter. God does that. They don't believe the servant girl. Then when they see Peter with their very own eyes, they're astonished. Why didn't they believe God would do that? Why were they surprised that God answered their prayer by freeing Peter? I've been thinking about this because I was going to do this devotion for you, so I thought I should think about it. And I wondered if maybe part of the problem was God didn't answer their prayer the way they expected. Maybe they were praying and asking God to change Herod's heart, or to, I don't know what, but have Peter released by people. You know, Herod says, "Okay, Peter, you can go." And all the disciples and everybody who's gathered praying say, "Oh, good, thanks, God." But God didn't do that. God miraculously sent an angel in the middle of all the guards. Peter's chains fall off. The angel tells him, "Get up, let's go." He leads them out, and he is freed. That happened in the middle of the night. Probably not what the people were expecting. Does that ever happen to you? you're praying a certain way, you maybe are suggesting to God how he could answer the prayer, but he does it another way, which is good. It's his way, it's the best way, but it wasn't what you were expecting. And then you don't believe God did it. When we pray, we need to believe. We need to trust him. And I think we need to not limit God on what he's going to do. Is there something you need to be praying about today? Now, I totally do not buy into the name it and claim it thing. God, I need that new car or whatever, and you just pray for it and expect you're going to get it. That's not where I'm going with this. But when you pray according to the will of God, will you believe that he's going to do it? Because he can. So pray, have faith, and don't be surprised when God shows his glory to you. Have a wonderful, Jesus-full day.